Raise the Roof production.
Well, you'll never know the heartache of looking a grown man in the eye, and he asks, am I gonna make it? And you've got to lie. Well, they call me Doc, but I ain't got no degree. When shit hits the fan, they're calling for me. From bluegrass Kentucky, with red blood on my hands, nobody calls me hero except for my friends. Yeah, they call me Doc.
Hello, fellow veterans and American patriots. Welcome to another episode of Sick Call with Doc. I'm your host, Doc, United States Navy. With me always, Joe Mystery Glenn, Combat Army Medic. Behind the scenes, Devil Dog Brian Roof. And today, we finally have the man on that we've been waiting for. This individual is probably the biggest advocate, cheerleader, fist in the air advocate for fellow veterans. Everybody knows this man, and inside the veteran circle, Max Bland.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the show, brother.
Welcome.
Thank you. That was a very, very nice, warm welcome. I appreciate that.
You're the man, bro.
I really, really appreciate that. I'm happy to get my story finally out there. I hope it has a positive impact on someone's life for the better. That's really what I hope in this world, is that I can have a positive impact on someone's life for the better, even if that's just one soul.
Oh, yeah.
Well, when it comes to you being here on me, it's about time.
I appreciate that. That's a lot. So I guess I'm going to take it off and start off to my youth, because that's where a lot of I'm going to start off a lot of my story is a mental health battle and averting those mental health crises. And it starts off from my not so nice, very abusive childhood, which my father was to thank for all of that. I had a younger me. I was a younger man at one point before the service. I was heading down the wrong path. I started using a lot of drugs and psychedelics. I had a psychedelic trip with a friend, and it helped me unlock a memory of my dad trying to murder me. And that woke up, do I want to keep going down this life path of drugs and alcohol at like 17, 18, 19? And I decided I needed to make a drastic change in my life, because I was going to end up in a gang or headed to prison in some way or fashion with the current path that I was on. So in that time in my life, after dealing with everything that I dealt with and the drug use, and then right when I was thinking about joining the service, my mom up and died when I was 23. And that sent me down an alcoholic path for the next 10 years of my life. But I joined the service, which kept me out of prison, really helped me stay on the straight and narrow away from drugs, and I started focusing on my life. When I joined the service, I was a reservist. So I went to boot camp. I did AIT. I thought it was typical. I went to boot camp in 2011. I was assaulted a couple times. I thought that was totally normal. It wasn't. And I learned I should have called IG, and I could have gotten out and been maybe a wealthy soldier. They would have discharged me with some kind of money compensation. But I never looked into that. I never cared to look into that. I don't care about profiting. I even put in for a VA claim. I was denied everything. They said it was not service connected. And I said, okay. During my time in the reserves, I never got a chance to deploy, which I would like other veterans that have never got a chance to deploy to know that it does bother me a lot that I never got to deploy, because I see some of my friends and the stress that they dealt with, and I wish that I could have taken some of that burden away from them. but learning that that's not my responsibility and I can never control that. And learning to accept that has been a difficult battle for me. And I want other people to know that it's okay that you didn't deploy. You're still part of the community. You're still here and you're still accepted. Like, all of my mental health issues and battle comes from me being a correctional officer or my childhood. I've seen a lot of traumatic stuff in my life, a lot of stuff most people would, I don't know, they would just give up, end it, which I've been there before. And when I was that dark and down, I was 2 years into I was a year and a half into being a correctional officer, and I found a love for growing, specifically cannabis. And when I started growing my amazing plant, I was also into growing peppers. It wasn't just cannabis. I don't want people to think I only grow weed. No, I love all gardening, but everything in my life seemed so dark to that point that I had kids and everything, but it just seemed everything was so negative in my life. Finding my hands in the soil and finding that path to recovery after also coming in and realizing that I needed to get sober after I had kids and all that. That was all thrown in the mix there at some point. And just snapping out of it and getting my hands into the soil. If I could share this planet with 1 million people so they would know how much it's helped me in my recovery and my own anxieties and my own mental health battle, whatever I can do to spread that message. That's why you see me in so many groups and being so positive, because just one little thing that you say, somebody can have a positive impact. Maybe they're having the shittiest day ever and I sent them a pack of seeds, cost me $3. Cool. I just made their entire week. You don't know what that little impact can change on someone's day, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, one of my mother-in-laws said, when you get to the end of your rope, tie a knot in it, hang on, and always be nice to everybody, because you never know when you're the only one.
Yeah.
And that's hung with me for 30, 40 years in my brain. So I get that. I wanted to touch on something else you talked about, brother. I had a big issue after I got out. I never went to combat either, and that's what corpsmen do. Like, that's their number one thing is corpsmen save Marines' lives. That's the deal. And to not get to do that, I always felt like I was not quite as good or won't be looked upon as well as corpsmen that ran towards the bullets, right? I'll give you an example. I went to a Tuskegee Air Show one time, and there was a booth there. It was old Marines with their one of the organizations they belonged to, and on their table were hats that said FMF Corpsman. I picked up that hat because it was gorgeous. I wasn't one, so I would never buy it. I have my Navy Corpsman stuff, my blue side. So I picked that hat up, and the Marine walked right over to me. He goes, "You FMF?" I go, "No." He goes, "You can put that hat down then."
Huh?
I said, "Well, I wasn't going to buy it anyway, brother. I'm a Blue Navy, but I love you." I walked away.
What's the FMF stand for?
Field Medical. See, I don't even know the fucking name of it. Field. Right. It's FMF is there's 3 words to that, and it means you became a Marine. You became a Marine. You wear their uniform. You cut your hair like them. You act like them. Everything is Marine Corps. And then when you get into battle with your group of dudes, if anybody's getting hurt, you're running. You're grabbing them. You're pulling them out. You're working on them if you have to.
Yeah.
Doing your job.
Fleet right? Marine Force. Gotcha.
Fleet Marine Force. Thank you. I'm sorry, Devil. I just couldn't think of it. I know that. Anyway, so I didn't get the chance to do that. I always felt like I was missing that one last good thing I could have done. I did a lot of cool shit, but not that. And let me tell you what, my older brothers and sisters in the veterans now, they have helped me work my way through that, because I know for a fact the chances are they never made it home. So I thank God he didn't send me because I would have died there with them. I know it. So, and maybe God had a different plan for me. That's all.
Yeah.
And so I worked in my plan. Enough about me. But I understand how you feel with that. Shut up. We all did it. We all did it.
Can I interject on a little bit of that? I'm the 3-time combat guy. I've been to combat. From my perspective, we all had our paths, okay? You all had your paths that were non-combat related, but you got to think about the bigger picture, guys, okay? Right here today, however many years it's been, okay, we're sitting here and we have a mission of healing, okay? And our mission of healing is supposed to be spread out to everybody. Now, just imagine that you guys, with all the shit you deal with today, add the combat related part, to it too. Maybe it's too much. Maybe. Who fucking knows? But what we do know is that you don't have to deal with that. And you have a sense of peace in you that said combat veterans can rely on. I need peace in my life. Do you think I want to go out there and mess with the psychotic ones that need counseling, just like I did? Man, I can't always do that. I need that peaceful place. And so for you guys to be like-minded, like me and like a lot of the other brothers and sisters in the veteran community, your sense of peace and support and guidance, through other things is exactly what the fuck we need, guys. Okay. So don't think that you're less than because you didn't get to pull a trigger or that you didn't have somebody pull a trigger on you. Thank God that you guys were not there. Okay. Thank God.
Mind if I interject real quick? Same thing
yes,
for me, brother. Like, I'm a supply Marine, so I get called Pogue. I deployed forward, but to some people, what I did is insignificant to others that deployed. You know what I mean? So we just got to get away from the stigmas. I mean, there's certain people out there that do drive that, right? But I think the percentage is a lot smaller than the ones that just love everybody in general. It doesn't, you don't get filed away because you did this or that. Because dude, there's a lot of arguments in the military, right? About what your job was. What did you do? Did you go to the rear? Did you go forward?
Right.
Did you go stay in the fence line? Did you go out the fence line? Hey,
it's all ego, guys.
The community.
I haven't even told you guys what I did yet.
Yeah,
you notice that?
Yeah, the toxic part is that we start to be like everybody else and start to, throw rocks at each other. Yeah. That's the thing that we got to stop doing inside our own community, right? And we got to fix our community and stop throwing rocks at each other, because I've been in a lot of different veteran groups that get super toxic, right? Yeah. And someone will post something and then they'll just get destroyed for what they posted. Yeah. So, we just don't worry, man. Everybody, I think there's a lot of labels out there. We just got to start trying to get away from the labels. Right. And
don't lessen the importance of what you did because you didn't go to combat. I did some cool ass shit, Max, that I'm very proud of to this day. And so don't lessen your service because you didn't. You owe it more than that.
Amen.
I want to give a couple of honorable mentions in the Facebook cannabis groups area, specifically veterans canna community. I moderate for that community. We do ask for proof of service to avoid any stolen ballot issues. We want to make sure we're amongst our own. It's really what it is. But there's that group which will help you grow, will help you any info you need. There's also Veterans Grow for Vets. There's also Patriots Helping Vets that Tom Rand, he was on a previous episode. He's an amazing resource. And he actually said one of my favorite quotes on here that I'm going to reemphasize right now. When is the last time that a pharmaceutical company cured anything? I love that quote, man. I love that quote. That has reached me to the core. Like, I've been thinking about that for weeks since I've heard that. I can't stop thinking about it. I love it. Veterans Canna Grow, Patriots Helping Vets. I think that's going to cover it for now.
Brian can run that across the screen for us if you can.
But those groups, if you're a veteran, they'll find the means. We'll try to help you as a community. we love to help the newer vets, especially, you know, finding just this hobby was so zen for me and so anxiety relieving. Just getting your hands into the soil. People need to go back to that and realize that, you know, not everything is technology. Sometimes you just need that time away, time to focus on something, you know?
That peace. Get grounded. Take your shoes off. Put them on bare dirt, folks. Put them on bare dirt.
Perfect. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Like my thing, I used to think alcohol was that. When my mom died, I went heavy. I was a super drinker, and it was 10 years plus. My wife looked at me one day and she goes, my daughter was 3 months old. This is the worst day of me being a parent ever. I'm making it up to her ever since. But I watched my daughter completely black out, shit-faced drunk. I drank 31 nips before 10 o'clock in the morning because I needed 10 nips to not be shaky. I hit that point of alcoholism, and it was finally time to wake up. I got my ass to rehab, and I haven't drank in almost 6 years. And I'm telling you this, I'm not going to drink ever again. It's not for me. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
I'm all for it if it helps you and you can handle it, but controlling it is a whole other monster. I'm not able to control. If you're able to, more power to you.
I wasn't. I thought I was for many years. I thought, yeah, I'm in control. I could stop this anytime. Nope. But I am over 1.5 years sober now. So, you know, same.
Amazing.
Yeah, bro. And I feel $1 million, you know, compared to what I did while I was drinking. You know, I thought that drinking numbed everything, calmed it down, calmed me. No, it made me way worse. And I didn't even know it. Didn't even realize it until I quit.
Snowball effect. You realize if you get sober, you still have to face all those emotions.
Yep.
You're still going to be there waiting no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. If you don't take time to sober up once in a while, I remember doing the drinking like that, man. Or as soon as I got off work, one beer, I was back to it, man. I was just ready to go. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard to control when you're an alcoholic, you know.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I'm glad you are, Max. Good shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and then because of my prior addiction issues, I do definitely want to touch on the subject of when I got into cannabis growing. My wife was really concerned that this is just another addiction leading up to it, and she was back on the old stigma of cannabis is not a medication. This is a drug. This is a drug that my husband is growing in my house, and it's the devil. And I had to overcome all of this with her, and I had to talk her through it. And I had to literally, like, my wife's pretty smart, so I had to find like clinical case studies of like showing like limonene can help reduce your anxiety levels, and like finding these case studies and really working with her over time and having open conversations with her about cannabis and how it is medicinally really helpful, and how me smoking, maybe taking a hit here and there, will calm my anxiety enough down so I'm not panicking, not walking around in a constant stress-ridden, oh, I gotta get this done, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Everything is so instant nowadays. Sometimes we just need to take a breath and get grounded. And not a lot of people realize that.
I have a question for you as far as anxiety goes. If there was a point in your body that you knew this was anxiety whenever it happened, what was the feeling and where was it when you knew that you were having an anxiety attack?
Chest.
What did it feel like?
Tightening. I feel like I'm about to go,
right? Like something sitting on your chest?
I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack. It's tightening, it's caving in. My rib cage is coming in. My solar plex is pushing in. Yeah. I can, because of my chosen career path as a correctional officer, I'm really good about controlling my adrenaline and being able to push myself down. So I can flare myself up when I want to, and then be able to push myself back down, because I've now been playing with my anxiety to a point to being able to get comfortable to controlling it. Because I've realized if I don't get comfortable to control it, people with post-traumatic stress, especially being veterans, how do we project everything? It's going to be anger, right?
Right.
I have 2 beautiful children. I can't respond that way. That'll make my kids have anxiety. It'll reflect my issues on them, which is the direct opposite of what I would want to do to be a good father.
Well, you know, the reason I wanted to say that is we needed to get the symptom, okay? Because I don't believe I've ever talked about the symptoms of when I know I'm having an anxiety attack. And it's exactly like you said. And so I just wanted everybody to know exactly what we're talking about when we're talking about anxiety. It's not just a worry like, oh my God, I have so much to do. That's just a worry. The anxiety attack is physical and it brings you down and you can't hardly breathe right. My stomach would get hot. My chest would get tight. It would literally feel like somebody was sitting on top of me. Like, you know, a couple of 100-pound guy, you know, big dude for me, you know? Anyway, thank you for sharing that, man, because that made me feel a little bit better and knowing that I understand what my anxieties were doing too.
Dude, that talking about that, how your aura off onto your kids, the way you deal with things, the way you react to things, the way you talk, your vocal tone, your levels, all of that affects your kids. And you bringing that up right now just reminded me of how I didn't do that good of that when I should have when I was younger. So thank you for having the wisdom and the insight and to share that with us. It just reminds me of the old man, you know, you can always get better. You can always get better, right?
I had one instance. I haven't really went into the career path so much of being a correctional officer. On my hand, you can probably see there's a couple scars there. I had an inmate look at me and he goes, "Hey, Officer Bland, you like fucking hurting yourself or something? What are you, some kind of homo? You like getting to BDSM?" And I go, "No, Lamar, dude. Thanks for reminding me of my dad and all his fucked up memories." And then he goes, "Oh shit!" And he goes, "I thought all you white SEALs were all white collar." And I'm like, "Nope. Some of us grow up on fucking Main Street in Holyoke, just like you. You guys are not from here. That's the hood."
Right. You know, I wanted to touch on something that you were talking about with the kids. Personal experience. My youngest son, Joseph Jr., he emulates my younger, crazy, drinking, cussing, fighting attitude, like to the T. He is me, just, you know, as a young man. My youngest son, Joshua, he emulates my more mental thinking, calm. Let's get to the bottom of this before I react too harshly. And so you can tell the children that were affected by my mental status as I went through the years. And so you're absolutely right that who we are as human beings and fathers, it does absolutely affect our children's outcome 100%. And so
I don't know if I'm solo on this, but my alcoholism, I'm not solo in that. My dad, his dad, as far back as the lineage goes, is that I'm the first one to break the cycle. And I am beyond proud of that. And I'm going to push it on my kids too. I don't want either of them to really drink, but they're my kids. So it's their decision. It's what they want. It's what they want to do. Right. They have to make their own choices. They have to make their own mistakes. That's the way people learn.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Absolutely.
That's true.
But the biggest thing that I learned when I first got sober is I did do the AA thing, and I really, really tried that. And a lot of people are receptive to that. But what I learned is my personality, no matter what I do, no matter what I get into, I'm going to get addicted to something. So why not take that addiction and take my addicted personality, and I'm going to focus all of that energy into bettering myself and bettering my life. So maybe, just maybe, I can help someone else. And if I can help someone else, my legacy, my memory will live on forever. Isn't that awesome?
Yep.
That's a great idea.
I would say I already did serve in combat, so they're never going to say that about you, bro. Trust us.
Yeah. Y'all get over that shit, would you? Yeah, get over that, man. It's not worth your time. I promise you.
I get that, but still, it still bothers me just because seeing the fucked up shit that I see in the penal system, I wish that I could bear more of a burden for other people, you know?
I see.
Selfless person.
Well, you'll find another way to let people know just how far you're willing to go to help. Okay, I think you're kind of looking at combat was your proof that I will die for you, right? That's what you're trying to prove, I imagine. Brother, I take your word for it, man. You do good things for a lot of fucking people. Do not discount that, man. And so you are serving your country. You are serving your community. And you're doing more than pulling a trigger, brother. I promise.
Brother, think about it like this. It just dawned on me. Close your eyes and imagine your children's lives without you. You could have left yourself on the battlefield, bro. And where would they be today now?
They may not be here if you were on the battlefield, right?
They wouldn't. I made sure I was out before I had kids. I was smart. I had a sergeant that missed all 3 of his kids' births, and I was like, that ain't going to be me. Fuck no.
You get my point, though, don't you, son?
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah. So.
Well, shit. So Max, tell me, man, how is it exactly that you got started growing cannabis? Like, what was that thing that said, you know what, I'm going to try my hand in growing cannabis? What was that day?
I was on Facebook scrolling through. I found an original group that I was part of. I'm not going to name that group because I don't want anybody going there. I don't want to promote their services in any way or form. And I met a couple of really, really good veterans to that group. And through them, they've developed several other groups. And all of these groups are willing to work together because none of them are actually for profit. None of them are trying to gain anything from this. We're all just good people that want good things for our brothers and sisters. Because we realize that, yeah, the VA is there, but how many VA stories have we heard that are nightmares? No one's going to watch out for us besides us. So we have to keep looking out for each other as peoples, because you're my brothers and sisters, whether you like it or not. And the government, do they give a shit? No, we have to push them every step of the way to care about us, right? So let's keep pushing together.
Amen. All right.
Wow.
So I met you. That was the linking point.
Me?
You in a group that you used to moderate for.
Oh,
you were doing lives and stuff like that. And I started growing when I started seeing your videos over 5 years ago.
Damn. Dude, that does my heart, man.
What?
Awesome. Fuck yeah. Awesome, brother. Good shit.
That's why when you asked me to be a moderator for you, I've always said yes.
Yeah.
You were kind of like my role model in the cannabis community. You just never knew that.
Damn, dude. Hey, you can make
and I watched all of your elongated trimming videos that you used to do on that said site.
Yeah.
When you were first launching Utopic too.
Yeah, man. All that shit was going on right. All right. That makes me feel really, really
wow,
special.
Dude.
Thank you.
Joe, I feel so good for you right now, Joe.
Damn. Man. Remember I was telling you about the medics don't generally get to hear about how the people are after, we treat and go. Well, that's that feeling I got, man. It was like a patient came back to me telling me, thank you for saving my life. That's how that hit, man. I appreciate that, brother, so much.
What a day.
Before I went on Amazon and bought that absolutely dog crap light.
Oh, no.
You all know that. The first light you buy is always terrible.
Always, yeah.
Right.
But it got me growing, so that's all that matters.
Well, shit. And now
man, I've invested a lot more money. Oh, my God, it eats your money away. But it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
You know what's crazy now that you said that, and now I'm thinking, it's just like flooding my head. I come to you for autoflower advice, bro.
That's awesome.
Did I not? You were talking to me about your 7-gallon pots, and that's about how you dialed it in. And
it's amazing. It's a good trick, too. Yeah, I got one behind me that's a monster right now. It's coming in. I can't wait to see it flower.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
In the present.
Sorry.
You are a man in the present. Let's do this. Let's take a break. When we get back, let's talk two things, more about 3 things, if we could. Your kids and how you work with your kids. Second, I want to go through, as quick as you could, a day in the life of a corrections officer. Tell me what it's like to go to the jailhouse every day, bro. And then let's finish it out with how cannabis makes it better for you, man. Let's just take a quick break. What do you say, Brian?
Welcome to Every Day is a Saturday USMC Veteran, the podcast that shines light on the incredible stories of military veterans and first responders. Join us as we invite heroes to share their journeys, unpacking their experiences in service, the transition to civilian life, and the realities of overcoming or dealing with PTSD. From military service to everyday life, hear how they're navigating challenges and finding purpose in the world today. Each episode is a testament to resilience, hope, and the power of community. Tune in to Every Day is a Saturday USMC Veteran, because every day is worth celebrating. Follow on your favorite listening platform or go to www.edasUSMCvet.com.
And we're back. And wow. Man, oh man. That was awesome. So
All right.
you talk a lot about your kids.
Yeah, that's my biggest impact for everything that I do in my life is my children. Like I said earlier in the episode, I had a highly abusive father, and he never really was there. So, I mean, when he was there, he was just kind of kicking my ass and being a dick. He's a racist piece of crap too. Like I went and I saw him 3 days before he passed away. This was before my daughter was born. My wife was pregnant with my firstborn, and my wife was only 2 months pregnant. And I went and saw him, and she goes, "Do you want to tell him that I'm pregnant?" I'm like, he doesn't deserve to know. I didn't even call him dad once. I used his name, Alan. Walked in the room, and he's like, "I got my boy back." Like I said, I come from a long line of alcoholics. So he was yellow from the jaundice and the liver failure, which is what he succumbed to 3 days later. I only went so I didn't regret it. And to be completely honest with you, it's going to sound really heartless of me, but I don't know why I went still to this day. I don't think I would have regretted not going. But I feel like I was doing that old man a service more than I did myself, being a better person by going to that room. I gave him some kind of peace, which I feel like a better person for that.
Amen. Yeah, there's not a whole bunch dude. That's your story, brother, and you had to do what you felt was right, and so you did that on you.
My bad.
Are we breaking up on you?
Go ahead, brother.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I was breaking up for a second there. It froze up on me for a minute. I don't know if it was just me or my kids. My father was the best influence ever to do everything the exact opposite. Me and the littles, we have a blast. We go to the Dr. Seuss Museum. We go to all the children's museum. My wife's always joking around. I got to bring my 3 toddlers with me everywhere I go because I got my husband and the 2 kids. I'm always running around trying to play with them. They're my biggest influence and my biggest thrill in this world.
Good shit.
Man, teach them love, respect, and discipline. Love, respect, and discipline.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, and we see pictures. Well, at least I do. I see pictures of you and the fam, all the time. It does my heart good to see a young family really close like that. You don't see them very often. Not anymore. But
Max, remind me how old you are. I'm sorry.
I'm only 35.
Only 35.
Only 35. I'm not that old yet.
No, not at all, man.
I will tell you this. I did have my share of marital problems, and especially a young couple. You need to just, you get so consumed in the day-to-day, you forget that you're married and you fucking love each other. Take a pause on the kids and the routine life. Grab your significant other. Make sure you make that bi-weekly date. It doesn't matter. Don't lose that, because if you do lose that, that's when you get so absorbed and you wake up 5 years later and you realize you don't fucking know that person anymore. And that's terrifying to me.
Never stop courting them.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Your wife is your queen or your partner, whatever you're into. I don't care. I support everybody. Do what you're going to do.
Yep.
It's like I always tell guys, you remember when you saw her, dude? Remember it? Remember that shit? Remember? You're like, yeah.
Don't forget that.
Yeah, don't forget that.
Yep.
Make sure you take him out, cherish him. Go get him a gift. Say, hey, babe, you look smoking hot today. But make sure you make those little things, because your family, that's where you should be finding your zen. You're not going to find your zen out in the corporate world. You're not going to find it out doing what you do. And see, what was the next topic I was supposed to cover? A life as a CEO. Oh, that's a fucked up one.
Just an average day. Do you get your uniform on at home? Is it ironed? Are you like total military? You know, with your creases, shine shoes, or do you get dressed? I mean, just a day in the life of you.
So right now I've been in this amazing position where I've been in a re-entry position. So I've actually been helping people get back on their feet and trying to reintegrate them into society. Now there are some, obviously, there's going to be some people in there that are not fully into the program for the right reasons. They're in there, they have their own reservations and motives, but I like to treat everybody with the benefit of the doubt and give them the common care and courtesy as everybody else. Everybody the same respect that everybody gets. Doesn't matter what your charge is. There are certain types of offenders that can go into minimum security settings, though, set by the DOC standards. Certain crimes are not authorized to go down to those facilities. But I don't make those rules. I just follow what the law states, and I do what my office says that I have to do the bare minimums. But you do see a lot of heinous stuff and hear about a lot of heinous stuff. It's a really, really dark career.
Well, it allows you to see what humanity's available or capable of, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. What we're truly capable of, you know.
And I have to go there, and I have to treat certain people with dignity and respect. That if I look at their crimes, I won't have dignity and respect for them.
Amen.
So I choose to go to work and not look at people's. I just don't look at their charges. I think that's the best way to do it.
It also reminds you of what to protect your children from in this world.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for your daughter's first boyfriend come over and say hi to you, dude. I
do too.
don't know what that's gonna be like. I don't want to be that dude.
No, I don't want to be that guy either.
I want to see it.
I've got a couple dads like me, but I was definitely that kid.
Yeah.
I got brass balls. It sucks.
So you want to date my daughter, huh? Okay.
I've never had that issue of like talking to people or anything. Like me and my wife joke about it, and I said like, if me and you ever didn't work out, I wouldn't know what to do, because when we first got together, there was no Tinder, no online dating or anything. You had to go up to people and talk to them still. Right. Now it's all Tinder and online stuff, and I'm not hating on that. I just personally would have no clue what to do.
Yeah.
I prefer to see them in person, you know, instead of them telling you what they look like and then what they will look like when you actually see them. That's a different thing.
I was always the guy that my friends picked, and they're like, "Hey, Max is gonna be the hey Mister guy. Get your ass over to Max."
Yeah.
I had never had that fear of talking to people.
Yeah. So
that's
cannabis,
a good thing.
man. Cannabis. How it has helped slow your mind down, help you calm down, helps you with your anxiety. Yeah.
All of the above.
And the feeling you get when you're just you and your plants. There's nothing like it, you know.
Typically, I would have anxiety about doing this podcast because maybe 100 people are going to see it, maybe no one's going to see it. But I'm just sitting here right now with my plants, and I'm as cool as a cucumber, just having a chat with two of my veteran friends. Yeah. And it's the only care I have in the world right now, is just having a nice, peaceful chat with two vet buddies. And that's honestly being able to feel that if you're someone that struggles with anxiety, and me being able to say that without like a choking at the end of my voice. I struggle with it every day when I'm not right next to my plants. Usually I'm a ball of anxiety, but you'd never, ever be able to tell. But getting that 40 minutes with my plants every day makes that difference in my life, of being able to walk around and having that confidence to tell other people about my medicine and my treatment and how I grow, cannabis, but I also grow I love Scotch bonnet peppers. I love Carolina Reaper peppers. Well, those are a little too hot now. I can't. No, not gonna mess with those ever again.
It was messy up. They're pretty good, yeah.
Scotch bonnets are good. I love habaneros. I grew purple habaneros, and their fruity flavor is so amazing. But just the different. There's terpenes in all different types of flowers. So learning about terpenes and their uses and how they can impact your life, especially with spicy peppers like capsicum has a lot of antioxidant properties, which I love the idea of that, because who knows when the next pandemic will be or whatever.
Well, that brings me to the question that Joe always asks. I'm surprised he hasn't gone there yet. Because he's always the medicine guy in his head. What exact strains have you used, and what methodology of intake do you use for your anxiety, panic attacks, and your PTSD? Is it different ones for different ones of those, or what do you got going on? So that other veterans can go, hey, well, if he tried that, it's helping him. I'll give it a shot and see if it helps me.
So specifically, I will only, if I'm going to ever touch any sativa leaning anything hybrid sativa indicate, it has to be in the morning time. Cannot be past 11 a.m. It has to be bright and early, like a cup of coffee. Otherwise, I'll be anxiety ridden all day. Most of the time, I just stay away from sativas altogether. I stay to indica leaning hybrids mostly. I do love growing autoflowers, because if you're a newer grower, it'll help you go with your perpetual growth. Doesn't matter what your light cycle is. Certain light cycles will get you better autoflowers. Regardless, you want to stay within the light parameters for that specific strain and phenotype. Different phenotypes have different growth cycles. There's a lot of science that goes into it. I get a little bit more into it. I get really, really nerdy into it. I've actually went to Holyoke Community College, and I've sat into a class that I did not pay for, and I earned no credits. I just got free information about cannabis, but it was cool learning that, because it's information that I can pass on to other people, right? Most people don't think you can do that.
That's exactly right.
I think growers should spend more time learning botany.
You should, though. If you know soil bio, or know what your medium biology is going to be, it's going to help you so much as a grower. Learning all the ins and outs, and plus it's fascinating how you come to realize that every single thing in this universe is intertwined and intermingled on a quantum level, and it's amazing to learn about. Fascinating, consumed by it.
Now, I like getting a little bit elevated and talking about stuff like that. It's amazing the shit that you actually know, that not medicated, you just forget all about it. But I'm telling you, when I medicate and I start talking about these serious things, as you call them, nerdy, I just think they're fantastical. All these little things. Seriously, some people look at it as nerdy. I think it's just beautiful, but everything makes sense to me when I'm elevated like that. And it's a good thing. And then trying to remember and share that with the public the next day, you better take notes, bro. You better take notes, man, because there's a lot to know.
Yeah, for me, you mentioned not doing sativa after 11 a.m. You just can't do that. For me, having ADHD a lot, I do a sativa in the morning with my to-do list, man, and I get rocking with the sativa in the morning. You know, that's just what works for me. It levels me off. It helps me multitask, which I never used to do before ever in my life. you know. Right. So for me, it works. And then later in the night, a little indica, set you back in, and it make you feel, joints feel better, and the pain, your aches and pains aren't so bad, But by day, mine's sativa. But that's just me, and that's just ADHD, So I urge all veterans to look up them terps, look up them cannabinoids, read on it, no more. I need to do the same still to this day, and find out what's to help you as not just as a veteran, but help you find the right medicine for yourself, and get off as many of those pills responsibly as you can.
Yes,
I safely have gotten off of most of my medications. I was on a lot of medications. For me, benzodiazepines aren't an option because of my alcohol. But what they did give me is they did give me gabapentin, and I was on that for quite a while. For me, that didn't work. It threw off my equilibrium. Everybody at work, they thought I was on drugs, and they thought I was drinking again because my equilibrium was thrown off from the gabapentin, and I was tired all the time. So I was walking around for like 2 months on just like this super gabapentin high, not really realizing that I was walking around all fucked up and everything. Everybody's like, Max, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You're losing weight, you're stumbling. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, what are you taking? And I'm like, oh, this med's helping me with my PTSD. I'm not like having night sweats anymore. I'm not having the terrors anymore. I'm not panicking for no fucking reason anymore. And they're like, yeah, but it's ruining your life. Like, we're about to fucking fire you at the jail because we think you're on drugs. So I used growing to wean myself off of the gabapentin. I did talk to my doctor about it. He was like, it's safe for you to stop whenever. But make sure if you're going to do something like that, talk to your physician. Don't just quit a medication. Make sure you go and do it the right way. I've been on medications that I've quit the wrong way, and you can get really fucked up doing it.
Yes.
And try to find a doctor that at least has a little bit of sympathy towards the use of cannabis helping people. You know, there's some hardcore doctors out there. Well, you're off of my list. Get out of my office. You know, and which is all nonsense to me. But you know, try to find a doctor that's at least a little holistic. You know what I mean? And that leaning a little that way. That way, they can help you responsibly wean yourself off. Joe, if I remember, you told me you just done.
No, for me, man, I was a medic, and so I understood how to wean myself off. So I actually took time to wean myself off, but I had to do it quickly because I was so sick. So I think it was over a couple of months I was off of all my pain meds. But there was other ones that I'd quit. Gabapentin, cold turkey. They were dosing me so hard, and I was somebody else, man. You know, my wife, my kids, my mom, my sister, brother, everybody was telling me, who the hell are you, man? Where did Joe go? You know? And so
2,000 milligrams a day.
Yeah, they were dosing the shit out of you, man. And so anyway, and that wasn't the only one. But yeah, when I was weaning off, man, the psych meds, I started getting off quickly because I realized that I was somewhere else, man. I don't know where the hell I was for all those years. But when I woke up and started realizing my house was crazy because I had teenage boys that thought they were running shit, you know, and so now I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? You know, that woke me up. But the pain meds, I had to wean off slowly, man, because you will die. You can easily die if you're really up on the pain meds. But much like cutting yourself off, you know, cold turkey like that can hurt you with alcohol too.
Well, you weaned yourself off as quickly as you possibly could, brother.
I legit only did it over like a week or two. If I was taking 10 milligrams of a pill, I cut it to 5 milligrams for the day. And I did that for a week. And then after that week, I would cut it to 0. If I had trouble, I'd fucking go back to my pill for a day or two and then get back to the half. You got to play with it. You can't just be done with it. It doesn't work that way for us.
Right, but at the same time, you were learning more about cannabis.
Absolutely. Now, I never smoked while I was on medication, though. I was absolutely sober from any medication, clean from any medication before I started my cannabis. So I don't know how they interact with each other like that personally. But I hear stories.
Okay.
You know? Man. But weaning yourself off is tricky business, guys. Get professional help on that.
Yes.
For the alcohol, I will straight up tell you guys that I was not at a capacity in my life. I was not able to quit without, I needed prescription medications. I had seizures. I had a really, really rough detox from alcohol because I was very, very alcohol dependent. And anybody that's out there struggling, you can do it. You need the willpower, but you're not alone. Reach out. My inbox is open. You're a vet. You need help. Max Bland. Find me on Facebook.
Max Bland.
I don't care, man. No one's alone.
I'll extend that a little bit more. Even if you're not a veteran and you need help from somebody that went through the gambit, reach out, folks. I mean, it's for me, it's lottie-dottie. Anybody that needs help, I'm here, man. I don't care if you're a civilian. I don't care if you're what part of the military you're in, who, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to help.
We're an equal opportunity healer here.
Absolutely.
That's true. That's true. I should have went there.
No, we forget sometimes. We get so wrapped up in our veteраnism,
Yeah, and you were the one that brought up, weaning yourself off slowly and be careful. And here we are, the medics should have been telling you that right off the gate. But, here we are.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want people to be better. That's all we want. All three of us want is people to reach out, ask for help. You're not alone. Everybody should know that you're not alone.
And drop your pride, because there's no judgment coming from me. For one, there ain't no judgment from here. I've done some of the stupidest shit ever, and I've gone through the most crazy things too, man. I'm here to help you out, man. No judgment.
You might think I'm a shining star, but I'm not. I've been through all of my shitty stuff. Yeah. I've done bad things myself, but I just want to help other people.
Who ain't all scuffed up a little bit, man? It's what builds you.
That's exactly right.
Like I said before this episode started, what did I say? I said, you don't learn anything unless you have some adversity in your life, right?
That is facts.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Imagine life being easy, man. It'd be too easy.
Any other final thoughts, brother?
I think that's it.
That's it, huh?
Yeah. I think that was a beautiful episode.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. You give me hope for the future of generations to come behind me.
Yeah.
And more men need to be like you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This world would be a better place, Max.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you didn't go to combat, homie. You're still with me.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
Your purpose was bigger than that, man. And it still is. So, and for me, what a great show, man. And you enlightened me on some things, and you just made my day, brother, by, the things that you had said earlier. I am so proud and happy that you are that one. If it was just one guy, remember you said that earlier, if I could help just one, well, you've just proven that one person can make your day just for the little bit of time you spend. Thank you.
I was in a real dark place, Joe. You were the one that opened my eyes to, hey, this isn't so hard. I can do this.
Hell yeah. Just beautiful, man. Thank you for that. Thank you.
I could take you back to when I was teaching in corpsman school and my guys were going to war. I got one letter back thanking me for being hard on him. That it helped him out there, that I was on his mind during time of war. And Joe, you got your letter today.
Yeah, man.
That's so freaking cool, dude.
Yeah, man. Beautiful.
I didn't even know. I mean,
I didn't know. Just doing it.
Max Bland.
Keep it tucked down.
Brian Devil Dog. Thank you, guys.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for having the courage to come out here and tell your story.
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate that.
All right, man. So for all of you out there that watch Sick Call with Doc, we hope you love our show. I hope you learned something. And thanks for watching. Thanks for reaching out. God bless. Love you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.